When you think of WCW, you're the poster child. You and Sting. I mean, there's a handful of others, but you're the poster child. And it was so interesting seeing Sting still wrestling right now. What was your reaction to seeing Sting debut in AEW?
Hey, bro, some guys don't want to quit, man. Some guys just don't want to leave it alone. And, that's what they do. Sting, I never thought I'd see Sting still, doing this at 61 years old. I just didn't think that. But I was talking on my show just last week. It's hard, sometimes, to walk away from this business. And then again, after you've done it for so long, you want to walk away from it your way. He didn't get a chance to do that in WWE, so now in AEW, he may feel like he got a chance to go out there and do it, and do it his way and walk away from it. But for me, I don't know, man, more power to those guys that want to go out there and do that. But I wasn't one of those guys that wanted to wrestle my whole life. I wasn't one of those kids that dreamed of being a professional wrestler as a kid or anything like that. I wasn't somebody that like Christian and Edge and there was in, WrestleMania 1 and the fans, I was on the, watching some prostitutes going down the strip, you know what I mean? Man, so when I got into wrestling, it was, it's different, it's different for me than most of these guys. So I just look at it, so differently, seriously.
Do you think we're going to see Sting have a match?
You know what, man? For Sting to want to have a match, I wouldn't advise it. Okay? At 61 years old. I wouldn't advise it. It's just not, I don't know. Is it worth it? I don't know. I mean, to him, it might be worth it, but I don't know. I say wrestling is a young man's sport. That's why I got out. I said I was going to retire when I was 40. All right. And when I turned 40, I was like, man, I'm still pretty good, man. I'm like, man, I'm still better than the rest of these suckers on the roster, man. Why not quit now, So I pushed it until I was 45. And then I walked away from it. And I tell you, I don't itch to ever, put my boots on to go out there and do that ever again. I had a great run and I had a great time doing it. And I love, watching the young guys come up. I love seeing my students get a break and get a chance, but Sting, he's a guy, he was doing it before I was doing it, well before I was doing it. It's something that he's done his whole life. It's something that's in his blood. There again, not getting a chance to finish it properly in WWE. I remember when I went to WWE in 2001, and I don't know, you can go back and research it, but Sting did an interview. He said the reason he never went to WWE was because of the way they treated Booker T when he first got there. And he said, because he said, I was disrespected by The Rock when I first got there, and he thought I should have been treated better. And what he was talking about was when me and Rock, we did our angle, and Rock goes, "Who are you?" And I go, "My name is." He goes, "It doesn't matter what your name," And I go, I always looked at this as wrestling. I've never looked at it like it was a serious thing. And I think if Sting came there and he did an angle with The Rock, Rock would have perhaps did the exact same thing with him. But it's wrestling, and for him to have missed out on 15 years maybe of time because of that angle that I did with The Rock, I thought that was very. I would, I don't even, what word should I use? Because I don't want to disparage him or anything like that. But I just thought that was a very unwise thing to do. Let's just say that. And miss out on all of that time of living out that Sting dream in the WWE. But I think it was a lot of guys were scared to come to the WWE.
Sure.
And a lot of guys did not want to have to, put in the work and really, establish themselves all over again. But me, I was like, let me go up here and see how good I really am. I wanted to challenge myself with the best workers in the world. But for Sting to do it now at 61, I just think is very, very It's an unwise move to go out there and try to work with these young guys.
I remember that promo with The Rock. Who in the blue hell are you?
Yeah. Yeah.
So for the record, you were not offended by this.
No, man, I've never been offended by anything that I've done in wrestling because it's wrestling. It's not real. It's what we make it. We're entertaining fans, and
yeah,
that's part of his character. And the thing is, I wish it would have been my shtick. You know what I mean? I'm serious. I wish I had stole a lot of his lines, man. I'm serious. No, I'm serious. I mean, because I've never been a hater, man. I've never been it's just like, just say, for instance, when Goldberg came in. And Goldberg wasn't a wrestler. He was a guy that was greener than anybody in the locker room. And then all of a sudden, he had the best interests. He had the best music. He was making the most money. And you know what I said? Man, I wish I was him. I'm not gonna say, I wish I would have slipped on a banana peel and got in like that. I can't hate on the guy because he's freaking, a huge star and he's making money and that just happened for him. I cannot do that. Me and Goldberg, him and I, we're the best of friends. We're tight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the way I am when I look at stuff like that. And I always have. Yeah.